Okay, I think we're being recorded. Let me make sure that I have audio. Yep, it looks like everything's working. So here we go. Rissa, this is for you, or this is a training video, first tutorial I've done in a while. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you. Um, it's going to share my entire uh, screen. So hopefully you will be able to see me and my screen. So um, while you're seeing my screen, and that there's usually a lot going on my screen, you'll be sitting at my computer and you'll see very similar. You see down here, you know, these are all the apps or programs that we would be using. And I'm going to take you to your first assignment in the Drafts app. So probably a better way for you to get there is just go to the Launchpad and type in Drafts, and you're going to see this blue icon, and you're going to click on it, and it's going to open Drafts. So that's what you want to do. Everything starts here in Drafts. So I'm going to open that to full screen, and you'll see up here, this is how you start a new document. But what we're going to do, I want to show you how to start a document or create a document. So what I'll do here is I'll just put some text in here. Um, and I want to show you, you should see down here at the bottom, there are these different things. These are what format this. And so when you look at, let me just take you to my page. Oh, I should have been all ready for this, but if you look, this, by the way, is a really helpful tool. Your reading list, you see this little thing up here. This is what this little widget thingy up here in the top left when you're in Safari, that's what lets you manage your bookmarks, and it also lets you see, here's my reading list, here's my bookmarks. So you see I have a lot of bookmarks, and one of the things under my favorites is my sitemap. So this is kind of a private page, but it takes you to my blog, my website. So it's got everything here that I post is here on this page. So I keep this page. To put it on a bookmark or your reading list, you simply come up to this little share button, and you can see you can add it to a reading list or add it to a bookmark. So let's say I want to add it to a bookmark. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to, this is tags. Tags happen to be my biggest, most current, uh, like the stuff I'm working on is filed under here. So I'm going to do new folder. That's going to create a new folder in my tabs, and I'm going to put 3 exclamation marks just so that I know that that's something I'm working on. It's probably not the best way, but now you see I'm moving it to the top. Hopefully, yeah, I just grabbed it and I'm moving it. So now I have Carissa. So you can do the same thing when you're in Safari. On my computer, you would open it and you would see Carissa, because if you're logged into Safari, you're logged in as me. And so when I make changes to these bookmarks, it shows up anywhere I log into Safari. So if I log into Safari on my phone, I don't know how long it will take, but you can see down there at the bottom the bookmarks. And when I go to bookmarks now, I go to tags, which is where I have all my, and look, you see Carissa already there. So I'm going to take this page and I'm going to bookmark it, and I'm going to bookmark it under Carissa, just so you have this page, the sitemap. Now, here's why I showed you that. So I scroll all the way down, Bayrock News. If I post a blog post like the one I sent you this morning, this is where you would find it. So I think CARES Act is the one that has the video. So I'm going to click on that. It doesn't seem, well, it's loading just very slowly. So this is the page, and I just want to point out this page. I'm going to go over here and close this out just so the whole full screen is now my blog post. So you see a finished post. This is what it looks like when I post it, and that's what you're getting ready to do is you're going to create a document using drafts. I'm going to show you how to format it, and then we're going to copy and paste it, and it's really easy to do, but it's going to end up looking like this. So you see all this text that's in here. Well, each of these headers, and I'll show you how to create a header, it's super easy, but those headers end up showing in this, what do you call it? So this takes you to that part of the blog. So it's just a little widget that lets you, it's a table of contents is what it is. So it just takes you to those. Now you also see in this blog post, I posted this video, and that wasn't supposed to be so fast. So I'm gonna, so I'm turning down the volume on my computer, hoping that turns it down here as well. But anyway, so just wanted you to see that's the that's what you're basically going to create. So back to drafts now. Let me go back to drafts. Now I'm in drafts, and I think if I find the CARES Act, you'll see here that this was. Uh, I don't think that's well. Let me show you a different. Let me show you a different. So I got to go back and I got to find that page. So I want to find the same, I want to find a different post. So I just clicked on the sitemap and I went, oh, it's this one, the Emergency Relief Act. So this one I just posted yesterday. It's the same thing. You see it's got a table of contents. It's got images. You'll learn how to do that too. It's got these links and you see how it's formatted. I like the way this is formatted. So the problem with this is it's formatted well, it looks good, but it's not really readable. And I'll tell you why that matters in a little while. But anyway, so that's another post, different than the one you looked at this morning. So when we go over here to drafts, this is the actual content that I used to paste into that. So just so you know how the formatting works. So now I have this drafts document open. I go up here to File. I click on File, and then I want to say Show Preview. So now it shows the preview. So now it's formatted. So you know, instead of just showing the document that we were showing before, instead of showing, I meant to show you, instead of showing you this, you see all these weird little things. So when I take a bunch of text and I highlight it, if it's a list, when I click on this little button right here, it puts those dashes in front of it. So I want those dashes in front of it because those dashes are what end up giving me these bullets. So you see those bullets right there. And those headers, when you see the header, like that's bold font, that's important because whatever's a header ends up showing over here. If it's got, look at this, if it's got two of these pound signs, like this is only got one, but if I gave it two, it would change how bold or big it is. So you see here the title of the article, or the that title. See, just look at this for a second and notice 1 and 2 and 4. So we've got, actually that's 3. No, that's 2. So we could do 1, 2, and 3. Let's do that just so I can show you now. We're looking at an easy way to stay connected, and I'm going to add just 1 right there, just so you can, we'll find it real easy when I go and I hit File, File, and hit Show Preview. So we're looking for, see how bold that is now? That's because I put one of those pound signs in front of it. This had one, this had two, this had three. So these two have the same really big, it's called header one, and this is header two, a little smaller, and this is header three. And those headers are important because we want we want those headers in the post to be, you know, bigger or smaller. And then the little bullets, again, just come from the dashes. So it's super easy to format. And I'll show you when we create the post how you just copy it and paste it right into the post to make it format like this. But the key thing I wanted you to know is these headers end up being in the table of contents. They end up being more um, well, it formats them right into the table of contents so that when you click on it, it takes you right to that section. So that's what I wanted you to see. So back to your first assignment in drafts, I want you to take, I think I thought, so I have an article, it's a newsletter that I want you to, thought, maybe it's because I have it open in my phone. Let me see. Yes. No. Okay. I'm going to jump over here to another one of my tools. Um, I'm going to notes, and I think I should have a note, client letter. So this is the client letter. I'm going to, and you'll notice this is in notes. So you should see this. If you go to notes on, you know, you just open notes like I did, you'll see client letter. And this is something I want to format. So this is a template that I get from one of my marketing team. So I'm just going to copy all of that. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a new draft document, and I'm going to call it client letter, and I'm going to put the date in. And you'll notice if I hit DDD 3 times on my keyboard, I magically get the date. And if I do TTT, I magically get that. That's because of an app that's running in the background that you don't really need to know, but I thought it was kind of fun to tell you. So now I'm just going to paste. Now I just took all this stuff and it pasted it as text. Now you'll notice when I go back to notes, there's this should have been an image, but it did it as a chart. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete, well, I won't delete it, I'll just leave it there. But in fact, what I'm gonna do under the table is I'm just gonna, for fun, put 3 of those deals there. So now we've got, you know, we've got our first bit of formatting. We don't want it to format like that, but if we did, you can then go up here, go to show preview, and you'll notice we have key index returns, and it changed how it looked. And if I wanted to make my post with this, I would copy from right here, hit Control C, that's what I'm doing on my keyboard, or Command C, the command, I'm sure you see the command button. That's Command and C, and that will copy it, and then I do Command V to paste. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you would copy it when you're in the file preview, show preview, and you would get it in the formatted way. And then when you, as you copy the formatted text, it won't look like this with all the weird little boogers. So it's just it's a different way to save time. So what I want you to do is I want you to open up this client letter, April 2, 2020, and I just want you to go through it. And first of all, I want you to rewrite it. Not totally, just make a few tweaks because I want it to sound like it's coming from me. So you do a great job of writing. I just want you to read it. You may change a few words and, you know, just try and give it a little bit of a sense of me writing it. And so first you'll do that, and then you will give headers to these, like a government. So we would want to have, let me just show you, a government-induced economic coma. That sounds like a good title or subtitle or header. So I think I'm going to give that 1, 2. I'm going to give it 2. Remember, we're dealing with 1, 2, and 3. So since this is going to be a post, we got to give it a title. So let's just say this is the main title starting with the keyword. So to make that a title, I'm just going to go boom. Now, the reality is when you look at my pages, you'll see that they all have in the title, like coronavirus emergency relief, that title is the keyword. So if you Google this, we want that to show up. I doubt very much that it's going to show up, but let's just see what happens when I do coronavirus emergency relief. I'm not seeing, yeah, it's going to be a really, really competitive keyword, but somewhere down there, if you know, when Google looks at my site, it will find it, and hopefully at some point it will show up. But anyway, so if you Google something else, let's Google IRA tax saver, see what happens. So it's not really showing up, but it's hard to get on Google. Sorry, I'm wasting time now. Anyway, your assignment is to just take this article and rewrite it, and then be looking for ways that you can format it. So when you see things that, you know, here's some numbers, that's good. So those numbers, I'd make that a 1, 2, 3. Other pieces of recovery puzzle include, that's good. And then, so that's what you're doing. Here you have these bullet points that I'm not sure they will show up the way we want them to. We may have to take those out, you know, just basically highlight all of those and then put bullets. But now that we have the extra bullet, we would have to delete it. So I'm going to just check real quick and see. So now I'm undeleting or unhighlighting those and leaving them original. Now let's see what it looks like. File, show preview. So where did we go? Hmm. Yeah, so see what happens is what I did, I changed these. I think I did. Yeah. So these would be the ones that I think I just changed, but the ones I didn't change, you'll see in here, they're like inside the document. So anyway, that's what we want to do. Rewrite this and then format it, and then I'll show you the next step. So I'm going to send you this video and you can watch it and spend a few minutes and play around in drafts for your first assignment. Text me when you're ready for your next assignment, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. I love you. And I'm going to end the meeting now if I can. Stop share, and I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to end the meeting.